Does God have a postal code? And what's the deal with Lenten veils? Hey everyone,
I'm Henry.
And I'm Father Johannes. Welcome to Hermit and Hog
Via Alpina Sacra edition.
On I went north.
You know, I imagined the Alps being taller.
Oh, they will get taller. But we are still following their eastern edge for now, as here lies yet another stop on the Via Alpina Sacra, the Gurk cathedral. On the way there was a small hamlet with the highly theological name of Dreifaltigkeit,
Meaning?
Trinity, named no doubt after the small church dedicated to the Most Holy Trinity built there many centuries ago. Its nave is a wooden construction, the type of which is very rare in these parts. I had a peaceful night there, and in the morning fog and mist lay yet again over the spruce tree forest. As I drew nearer to the valley of Gurk, finally the sun came through. The enormous cathedral in its tiny village is difficult to sum up in a few words. In every corner there are marvelous treasures of art, starting with the oldest part, the crypt, 100 columns, and the tomb of Saint Hemma, the noble woman that founded this monastery 1,000 years ago. Pregnant women have been coming here since her departure from this world to ask her intercession in childbirth. Leaving the crypt, you ascend to the Romanesque basilica built in the 12th century. It has a beautifully painted entrance hall. Above this hall is yet another marvelous chapel, the Episcopal Chapel, with frescoes from a time long before the bishops who came to live here moved to Klagenfurt. There is the captivating early Baroque altar with 72 statues and 82 angelic faces and figurines. And with all this, we have not yet even mentioned that the Gurk Cathedral houses the largest and oldest Lenten veil of the Alps. It covers more than 860 square feet.
But you did not get to see it if you only got there in May.
No, I didn't. I was too late for that. But I did find some pictures online. The veil was made in 1458 and depicts 99 scenes from the Old and the New Testament.
And it was hung up front?
Yes. This custom first emerged around the year 1000, at which time these veils were simple cloths that were hung between the altar and the nave.
But then people couldn't see the altar anymore.
And that was the point. The idea was to remove sight and thereby augment the experience of Lent. Think of the words of the Gospel of Matthew. The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast. So these Lenten veils introduced a kind of fasting with the eyes, which complemented other types of fasting and reductions such as fasting of the ears.
You mean that the Gloria and the Hallelujah are dropped during the Lenten season?
Yes, and even the organ and bells eventually fall silent in Holy Week. And then, in the Easter Vigil, which begins in the dark, eventually at the Gloria the veils fall, the lights are lit, all the bells are rung, and the organ blasts its tune. It is the complete reversal of Lent. It is the celebration of the resurrection. But of course, to really experience that, you have to participate in the whole Triduum, so the whole journey from Holy Thursday onwards. What's on your mind?
The taste of the first chestnuts as they fall to the ground in their season. What joy brings their return to eye and tongue.
That is not really the same thing.
But in a way.
In a way, yes. even with such mundane things, you can see how the seasonal absence of something can augment the experience and the joy when it returns.
So that is what fasting is about.
No, there's more to fasting, of course. There's the concept of penance and mortification to grow in virtue, sacrifice. But the idea of reduction is at least an aspect of the Lenten veils.
So why have Lenten veils been abandoned?
They haven't been abandoned, at least not in principle. It is true that they reached their peak during the 15th to 17th century, and that those that are used today are generally only covering images, statues, or at least a crucifix. And they no longer separate the altar from the view of the congregation. But the basic idea still exists, and I hope that it receives more attention again, especially where it has fallen out of use. This kind of reduction really augments the experience.
Yes.
You're back at the chestnuts, aren't you?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Anyway, what is our takeaway from today's episode? Gurk is worth a visit. A veil can help you to see better.
And God's postal code is 9300. Well, that's the postal code of that hamlet you visited, Dreifaltigkeit.
I see. Well, until next week, in the meantime, be joyful, do good.
And let the pigs whistle.